We know the 66-year-old driver, a Mount Macedon man, remains in hospital at Ballarat Base Hospital behind me. He's been interviewed by detectives from the Major Collision Investigation Unit, but importantly, no charges have been laid. I've just spoken to the hospital and they tell me that 66-year-old driver is still in hospital. He has not been discharged yet, so this investigation is still very much in the early days and is ongoing. Now, in terms of the wider investigation itself, we know that police were at the scene on Monday night conducting a reconstruction of the events that led up to this absolute horror tragedy on Sunday night, where people were just enjoying sunshine, having a great time in the beer garden outside the Royal Hotel, where for some reason that is still very unclear, that 66-year-old driver drove through the beer garden, killing 5 people. Now, we have learnt about the victims of this crash. They were 2 families essentially, one from Point Cook, Jatin Chuk, who was a 30-year-old, his partner Pratibha Sharma, a 44-year-old, and her 9-year-old daughter Anvi. And further details have surfaced about the second family impacted by this tragedy. They were from Tarneet. There was Vivek Bhatia, a 38-year-old, his 11-year-old son Vian. And you can just imagine how not just the Daylesford community is feeling at the moment, but indeed those 2 communities in Melbourne's outer west. We have learned that both these families were much loved in their community and were really treasured by everyone who knew and loved them.
Yeah, a huge loss indeed. Lexi, what condition are the survivors of the crash in?
Well, we do know, Karina, that 5 people were taken to hospital following this crash. They included Vivek Bhatia's 6-year-old son and his 36-year-old, wife, Ruchi. Now, the boy remains in the Royal Children's Hospital in what I understand is a serious but stable condition. Ruchi remains at the Royal Melbourne Hospital. She's in a stable condition. And the 3 others that were taken to hospital, there was a 43-year-old Kyneton woman who is still in hospital in what I understand to be a stable condition. But some really good news is that a 38-year-old man and a 11-month-old baby who were taken to hospital following this tragedy have since been discharged, which is, I guess, just a glimmer of good news in what has just been an unthinkable tragedy.
Lexi, how is the community being supported in the wake of the crash?
Well, we know, Karina, that in the days following there's been people offering support, counsellors on the ground, and indeed police providing reassurance. I know yesterday we were at the scene and there were many patrolling police just out there to provide just a chat if people needed it, or just a helping hand in this absolutely horrific time. There's also been a drop-in centre established in Daylesford where anyone in the community that needs it is encouraged to access free counselling service. Now, we understand at this point that will continue up to Friday from 9 to 5, but as you can imagine, the local leaders and local governments are working really hard along with the health services to make sure that support continues in the weeks to come.